Oxford shortlists about half of all applicants, depending on the subject. Some subjects tend to shortlist more and then cut down more at the interviews. Some cut down more based on the admissions test. It does depend. Most subjects have multiple interviews for each candidate. The general guideline is 2, and then if you are sort of borderline, or if you maybe are really nervous one interview and they think you deserve another shot, they'll give you a third. It depends. The science of who gets how many interviews is very, very imprecise, so I wouldn't worry about that. But you can expect to have at least 2, which means that you have 2 shots to impress the interviewer. And they do communicate with each other. So usually those interviews are at different colleges. One is at the college that you applied to, typically, and the second one will be in another college. It's handled slightly differently at medicine, I believe. So an important thing to bear in mind is if you mess up, say, your first interview, don't think, oh no, I've ruined it, I never get into that college I wanted, because the other Oxford college, if you ace that interview, they'll tell the first group of tutors, you got it wrong, this student's really smart. So yeah, you do get multiple shots to impress, basically. And you will find out whether you've been invited for an interview, usually mid-November to early December, but it depends on the course and also on the college. Every few years, there is one college that doesn't get their invites out on time, and the students really panic and they all assume they haven't got in, and it turns out that one college just lost the emails or something. So don't worry too much about when the invite comes in. It doesn't reflect on you. And just bear in mind that the performance interview alone generally isn't the only thing that determines whether you get a place. They're also looking at the whole of your application, but the interview is important. So what is actually an interview? They are based on this tutorial system, and they're meant to see if you would suit that system. You can be a perfectly smart person and not receive an offer from Oxford, and many people think, does that mean I wasn't smart enough? And often it doesn't actually. It means that they thought you weren't suited to this tutorial style of learning, which is very conversational. So it's a conversation with these tutors. You'll often have a passage to read, a problem to solve, if it's a more mathematical subject, and you'll discuss it together. And there'll be a sort of question and answer format. There's a lot of myths about the interview, but it's not a trick or a mind game. It's about how you react to new situations and process new information. And the other thing that's a really common myth is that there's a right answer and you're being judged on whether you know it. You're actually not. And I've worked with a lot of tutors who said it's really boring if the student knows all the answers, because the point is we want to see who has an aptitude to learn. Similarly to the admissions tests, they're looking for that raw ability. Therefore, if you know the answers to everything, they'll just keep pushing until they find an area that you don't know the answers to, because that's what they really want to see. Can you approach new information in a really logical way? And how do you think? So often the questions won't have a right answer at all. They will be kind of philosophical or things that are debated within the field. The point is they want to see how you think and how you apply what you know. They're not really interested in what you know just as a list of facts.